Hey everyone, razzle bedazzle dazzle dazzle madazzle bazzle dazzle here. Coming at you with a video. I randomly decided to do this because of all the new information coming out lately, and I kind of want to be on top of everything. I'm trying to stay better and on top. You know, it's the day after a lot of information came out, but you know, some of the condition changes and dashes and things like that. But there's some other things that that came out this past day. And that's just overflooded me, and I'm just like, oh god, no. It's kind of changing the way I'm gonna do videos in the future as well, as long, you know, and you know, that's not the worst, the biggest thing on your mind right now. So, but we're just gonna go for really quickly about some things, and you know, I just want to put up my opinions on some things, like there are condition changes coming. There's those dashes, which aren't as huge, and all the specialization stuff that's coming out. Well, not the new specializations, not like Chronomancer or things like that, but specializations as in the specialization system being implemented into the game, replacing our old trait system. Now, the first thing I want to start, before, you know, while you enjoy watching me pretend to play warrior in a dungeon, first thing I wanted to go over would be the condition changes, mainly because I'm a big PvPer and condition meta was not fun for me. I'm not gonna go ahead and just go whining all about it, saying, oh, it's awful, no, it's gonna break everything. No, it's not gonna happen here. What I'm gonna say is that I am worried about what's going to happen in the future with this condition meta, or excuse me, condition change, and whether, you know, capless conditions are going to be big game changer in PvP. I'm not as concerned about it as PvE, and I'm equally as much of a PvPer as a PvPer, as a worldly worlder, or much less worldly worlder than most people, but I play every aspect of this game, or try to equally, but in the PvP aspect, it seems like this might be some new Condis meta, maybe? Like, I keep I mean, it's hard not to go down that road. It's hard not to say that this is a Condis meta that's gonna change things. I mean, they literally say in the blog post that, oh, you get hit by 400 bleeding, and boom, you just instantly die. It's like, that's not what I want to happen. I want to just, you know, I just want bleeding to, gently nudge me while I'm dying slowly. That's kind of, you know, I guess what they really wanted to do was kind of give Condi classes in general overall a better feel, which I guess this will do. You will feel a lot stronger. You'll feel like you matter a bit more in everything, including, you know, dungeons and team, you know, PvP team fights and things like that. Although I say that, and then I'm thinking, I still have in the back of my mind, it's like, man, you know, if I have 2 Condi Rangers on me and they just do a full entangle, I'm stuck there with what, 50 bleed stacks, and what do I do? Well, I mean, you could go and say, well, maybe Condi clear would be a big thing in the future. We don't know what future things are going to come out of the next several weeks, like the specialization system being implemented and any new elite specializations that are going to be released in the near future. So we don't, and especially with some brand new large supporty type things like Ventari's Legend for the Revenant, there might be a lot more support that way. I mean, with the Condis going up, maybe they've already thought of that. You know, maybe they haven't. I just hope that, in my opinion, I just hope that Ina is prepared to see a big change in the way that Condi works in this entire game. I mean, I'm pretty sure it looks great on paper, and I'm pretty sure that they've tested it as much as they can. I just hope that it doesn't go overboard and we're sitting in another very ugly Condi meta stage for PvP. The next thing we're talking about is the dashes. The dashes that everyone was so, I've seen so many Reddit posts and forum posts about, oh, now dashes are stupid and broken, or they're worse off than this and that. It's like, I don't think people properly understood how awful it is when your only gap closer is cut off by you accidentally being hit by a chill that wasn't even meant for you. It's kind of like, you know, and I'm saying that only because I don't know what this dash thing is going to feel like, although I'd rather not be slowed down so much. I don't think it's going to be a big, huge deal. It's not going to change a lot of things, like, oh, they're just dashing at us like normal. It's not like I can't react to it as like it was a normal dash. I just don't, I'm not gonna wait to set up anything else. I think it's kind of changing. It might change some ways that players respond or react to certain things. especially when someone's coming at them. In the PvE scene, I don't see much anything being different, besides the fact that you won't be dashing as far now without, you know, since it's being balanced out between the two extremes, whether you're super speed or swift, you know, just the regular swiftness, but swiftness, that's a new word, swiftness, hashtag swiftness. You'll go really far with your dashes, or with the other extreme where you're chilled or crippled, you will move barely any distance from where you started, because especially with chill where it's 66% slower movement speed, that is a big and imagine that, and then placing, you know, slow on top of that. You're and the person's just waiting there looking, man, is he ever going to reach me? And I think that's going to be, I don't know how, I'm just guessing how that's going to play out, but who knows what's going to happen in the near future with all that stuff. I do believe that a lot of these changes, and I'm just going to overshadow the rest of this video with this, everything that's going to come out in the near future has a plan. I'm going to assume that, and I know I'm setting myself up for failure if it doesn't turn out that way, but I'd rather think that than think that, oh man, it's going to be bad. Because every time I thought something was going to be awful, it didn't turn out that way, or it did kind of turn out that way, but I found a way around it. I think a lot of these changes, players are going to find different ways of playing, and that's how most people do. And then the people who really can't come up with new stuff are just going to, you know, do something else. I mean, it's really up to the players overall to figure out, all right, how do I adapt to this situation? And I know Condi meta is not fun. I know, you know, dashes are very dear to our heart. Their mobility, their way you get across places, you know, things like that. And those changing those things that are dear to our heart are very, or not so dear to our heart, or we're scared of, can be very intimidating. So the third thing I want to talk about is the specialization system. This is the thing I really wanted to talk about. The other two things I'm just kind of like, they're there, they're coming, whatever. This is what I want to talk about. This is what I'm excited about, and also very sad about, because now all the videos I've started making about build guides are defunct completely. The LA build video I just put out like yesterday, it's not going to be informative at all, because now the trait system that we have currently is going to be replaced by specializations. And if you don't know what that means basically the way that the trait system works now is we put points into trait trees, or trait lines, really. The trees up, lines go across, and then we put points, like we have a total of 14 points. We can put maximum of 6 into one line. We can put a total of 14 on the board, and that's it. We usually can put a maximum of 2 trait lines totally with 6 points, and then 2 left over. Now with this new specialization trait system, or specialization system, not trait system, specialization system, we are allowed 3 specializations, and that includes 1 elite. So one of those 3 is an elite specialization, which is the new specializations we're going to be coming out with in the expansion. Now, what does that mean for everything? Well, I'm not really sure. I've looked at some of the calculators that some people have been putting out there, some very clever people putting out for all the new traits that we're going to be getting in the specializations, and it's hard to say what it's going to be like. I've seen a lot of good things, a lot of bad things. For example, some of the things like Elementalist is going to be kind of hit hard if this is true, although I've heard it's different now, where we have to choose between Elemental Attunement, Evasive Arcana. I explained in my LA video that especially Evasive Arcana is very key to a dagger build in PvP. And making us choose between our boon trait and our evasive trait, especially the boon trait's very, very useful, because not only are we giving ourselves boons, but we're giving everyone else boons. So that's also an important thing. I think that someone confirmed, or at least someone said, one of the devs said, or someone said that the Elemental Attunement trait is going to be a minor trait now in the specialization, in the Arcana specialization tree. So who knows? Maybe that will be the change. Again, a lot of the things that we've seen in the past are up in the air entirely, and we don't know anything about what's going to come out soon. From what we saw originally in their stream about all the new traits in the specialization system, they said, well, this is all going to change. You were just showing you what it's going to look like, basically. It's just kind of, we're showing off our cool art and things. And here is what it could be, but it might probably not be that. So I will be waiting to make any more guide videos about PvP until after the specialization update comes in. and so that I'll probably take some time to get to know the traits. I'll probably take an entire day just looking at every single trait or every single specialization line and looking at the different traits inside and saying, okay, this, and that, you know. And the thing is, it's very important to know that whereas in the trait system we have right now, we're allowed to pick and choose how many points we put into each line. With the specialization system, we have to choose 3 specializations and use the traits in those specializations. Albeit we'll have specializations to choose from, our Adept, Master, and Grandmaster traits will be able to choose between 3 selections, but still it's condensing it down. I think I actually like it a lot more. I don't know yet. I haven't tried it. And it's still up to, I reserve my criticisms until after I've actually experienced the changes to make a proper judgment. So yeah, that's the specialization stuff. So I think that's a great idea. I am so happy to see it come out this soon, especially. I'm like, wow, this stuff's coming out really fast. I mean, I'm not trying to say, oh, Heart of Thorns is coming out in the next month. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying anything like that. That's just, it's great that to see ANET working on things like this and bringing them out, especially this early and for free. Like, this is a big change that they're putting out before the expansion, which we have to purchase. And the other thing, and it is close to my heart because I am a Guild Wars 2 fanboy and everything like that, and Lion's Arch is getting repaired. Hooray! Finally, we get to AFK in a proper place. I mean, we get to do things, important stuff, all the time, every minute, every second. Not AFK. So Lion's Arch is getting repaired completely and looking brand spanking new, spit shined and everything, and it will look completely different from what it looked. Especially as far as I know from both blog posts, it will look almost completely different from what it was before. It might have some similar areas and stuff like that, but I'm hoping that it looks amazing, and I'm quite happy that's going to change. I loved the old Lion's Arch. I would have preferred them to keep the old Lion's Arch, but a refreshing start on a new expansion like this, starting off with the repairing, I have to find a new word, reconstruction of Lion's Arch is a great idea, I think. And all those cool names that we've picked out are here. I mean, we got Phoenix Roost for the lighthouse, we got the Aerodrome, that's a cool word for like an airport, and they kept the Lion's Court. They kept Lion's Court as the name for the Lion's Court. I mean, that's one I voted for. Pretty much all of those names I voted for, and I was so happy to see those. I mean, it's really fun. I'm glad they took the voting process out of game, personally, and didn't make some sort of big, like, event about it. I was pleased with the fact that they took it. Okay, here's the community. Here's, you know, here's something you can vote on, the names and stuff. I know some people wanted to, like, be part of the reconstruction, like, oh, we want this here, we want this there, but I don't think that would have been a great idea. We don't want a phallic-shaped object just showing up in the middle of nowhere. I'm pretty sure that it would have, would have been on top of things like that. But I think leaving it to ANET and their design is a-okay with me, since I love pretty much every artistic thing in this game. The art in this game is amazing, and the 3D modelers and everything, the texture artists, all those people have done a great job, and I cannot wait to AFK. I mean, run around Lion's Arch and enjoy the scenery. So that was pretty much it. That's all the new stuff so far, and I'm really excited for everything. Who knows when? Maybe it'll come out in the stream tomorrow. The point of interest already. I'm not really sure. I think they said it was point of interest last week that this point of interest is coming out tomorrow. Unfortunately, we'll have to watch it after it airs because I will be somewhere else. But I can't wait to see. I'm predicting that it would be about the specialization system that's coming out and new Lion's Arch as well. I predict all of that. I also predict that they'll be talking a little bit about the condition changes, probably. Not as much, since that the numbers are still kind of up in the air. They mentioned that it was in that blog post that the numbers for those won't be ready just yet. So I assume that just the Lion's Arch and specialization stuff will be part on the table for the point of interest stream. Oh, and I almost forgot about this one other thing. This came out just today, and I was like, oh, and this excitement just kind of just, this is me expressing my excitement here. Guild halls this guild halls. I'm so excited that I can't even speak right now. Guild halls will be announced on E3 next week. Mr. Colin Johanson, our favorite game director in the entire world, is going to talk about them there in depth. At least that's what I took from the blog post. They're going to be talking about everything guild halls and what they're going to do, how they're going, and even how they're going to look, like how they're going to be interactable with the players and everything. So this is the big thing because, I've been wanting guild halls to come back so bad. They weren't as they didn't really function too much in Guild Wars 1. They had some functionality. They were for, Guild versus Guild and other things like that. They were kind of a meeting place to sit around. And they were pretty cool to have and things like that. I'm hoping that with this Guild Wars 2, that this kind of system they're placing in is going to be even more awesome. Like, it's just going to have all this stuff coming into it. I'm so excited for guild halls. I can't wait for to see if they're going to have what kind of customizations we'll have or anything like that, or what they'll be able to do inside of them and things like that. So again, super excited. E3 I think next Friday, and then on the 19th they'll have another follow-up stream about some more information about all that. So yeah. Alright guys, that's all it is for today. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Like this video. It helps me out a lot. And I hope to see you guys in a new Lion's Arch at some point with the new specializations and us rocking out on some new traits and builds. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!